right, here's what I'm doing here. Let me get some things to show you. I'm making a dairy-free ice cream.
Yes.
Now that's kind of an oxymoron, but
ahead,
as we discussed, ice cream
He's not
is...
saying anything important anyway.
Sure he is.
Is there a particular recommended temperature of the airspace in the room in which this machine is occupied?
No.
Too cold for you, it's
No. I hear you. Seriously.
No.
So this could work in a hot kitchen?
We are from Dubai to South Africa to Alaska to Peru. We're every place in the world.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because you're not letting it sit out for a long time, and the machines are designed to take it. We're used to building for restaurants, which are notorious for not air conditioning their kitchens for the employees. They're hot. They're beyond hot. And that's what we build our machines to do. A millennial phenomenon. I have 4 millennial children, and millennial, I'm talking in generalized terms. It doesn't mean everybody's this way. But in general, millennials are defined as 21 to 39. And just like us baby boomers, those numbers will spread. People wanted to become baby boomers, so I'm at the very young end of the baby boomers. Jeff's at the more advanced end, and people wanted to be a baby boomer. So people younger than me. I mean, I was born in '51. People who are in their 1960s are claiming they're baby boomers. They're not, but we'll let them in anyway. But the point is, that's a moving target, and that moving target has changed the face of food unlike anything else in the world. We used to make, I don't even have them anymore, but we used to have cans. It's called a number 10 tin. It's a can, and it holds 3 quarts. So if I'm making strawberry ice cream 10 years ago, as early as 10 years ago, I would open up that number 10 tin. It would have the cheapest strawberries in the world in it that couldn't be sold anywhere else to anybody else. Put in heavy corn syrup with red dye 40, and we poured that into the machine with the dairy blend and called that strawberry ice cream. And all us baby boomers ate it, and we loved it. It was great ice cream.
Thanks.
The millennials come along, and they just say, no, we're not doing this. We are going to spend what it costs to get the best food and beverage that there is. And that took a lot of us by surprise. Not me, because I raised 4 children, but everybody else in the industry is still catching up to me. And the big thing that changed was, as the demand for the quality went up, things like locally sourced and fresh or fresh frozen, as opposed to in a can that has a date 10 years out. They are demanding fresher, better products. And what came along with that, much to our very pleasant surprise, is 10 years ago, it was hard to get $2.50 for a scoop of ice cream. Because everybody said, oh, no, if you go up to $2.75, nobody's going to come to you. They're not going to buy you. They'll go to your competition. The millennials wanting better quality drove the prices up. My customers, Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry, they get about $5.50 for a pint of ice cream, and it's darn good. My customers like you are getting $7, $8, $9, $10 a pint. Because the millennials don't look at it from a price standpoint, they look at it from, this is the quality I want. And I love it, because instead of saying I'll eat whatever comes along, it's, I'm just not going to eat that unless I know the origins of it. So that has brought up the quality of our products tremendously. It's also brought up our prices, which is wonderful. We are now much more profitable, ice cream makers, ice cream stores, than we ever used to be. And the demand is way up because the quality is so good. Now, along all that, my children were raised on Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry, so if I have them over for Christmas dinner, they'll eat the Haagen-Dazs ice cream. But in their own freezers in Denver and in New York City, they probably have a product that used to be called vegan. And if you've watched my videos, you've heard this line from me, but it's poignant. Vegan sounds like an 89-year-old man who weighs 89 pounds, and you just want to buy him a good filet mignon before he collapses. And that's the truth. It's a bad term. Vegan is not good. Just like our term mix, ice cream mix, is a terrible term. It should be called blend. So the millennials are looking for something that's non-dairy besides being highest quality. So I started working on this about 3 years ago, and the industry is caught up and everybody's moving this way. Not only are we making incredible quality dairy ice cream. We're also making, and we changed the name to dairy-free frozen dessert. In my ice cream parlors, my customers like you, we call it dairy-free ice cream. If you're Breyers, it has to be dairy-free frozen dessert. If you're a college, it's dairy-free frozen dessert. If Jeff ever put it in, if it was Jeff's ice cream, it would be called dairy-free ice cream. Very descriptive term, and I can assure you they're not going to come with 2 black Chevy Suburbans and haul you off to Yemen to a black site because you're breaking a federal law almost as bad as ripping that tag off of your pillow. It's right up there with it. So what I'm making is I experimented a lot using coconut milk, cream of coconut. It comes in a can, and if you were down in Key West, you'd have it in a bar drink. Coconut milk, cream of coconut, sugar, and then my flavor. This company is called Froconut, and you'll see it on the website. It's under Key Suppliers, Froconut. And Amy Posner came up with this. She's here in the United States, and this is all made in the United States. And this is all vegan cane sugar, non-GMO coconut, food starch, and tapioca. And that's about it. And my product from scratch tended to get icy and crumbly. It needs more research. This is just such an easy way to make the dairy-free that I recommend. I don't get a dime from them. I don't even get the product for free. But I love it because it's got all the ingredients in it. It's a coconut-based, and I can make any flavor of ice cream that can exist, except vanilla. The vanilla, for some reason, you've got the coconut background, which is not terribly strong, but fighting with the vanilla for world dominance, and so I don't like my vanilla, but I do coffee, we're going to do chocolate, I do strawberry, cookie ice creams, banana ice creams. Anything that I can make in dairy, I can make in dairy-free. Now, no one is going to open up a dairy-free store, and I've been saying that, and now there are some dairy-free stores only opening up, but for the most part, if I could get you in your store, if you had, say, 16 flavors, give me 2 or 4 slots of dairy-free and see the crowd that's coming in. Us baby boomers are going to buy the hard ice cream, but the millennials are going to come in, and I don't have my phone on me, but the whole world has changed because of them. If I was giving this talk 10 years ago, I would be quoting the guy from McDonald's, Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc said this key to success is location, location, location. That's out the window now. You don't have to be on Park Avenue in Winter Park, Florida to have the most expensive street to have the best location. Because nowadays a millennial says, oh, hey, Steve Thompson's ice cream parlor has dairy-free. Really? Text me the address. She texted, I texted to her, she texted to 10 of her friends, who texted to 10 of their friends. Before this class is over today, there'll be 200 to 300 people know that Steve Thompson on a side street in Winter Park, Florida has dairy-free ice cream. It's amazing. There's another, some of you more senior gentlemen will understand this one, is my much older sister. She's 2 years older than me, way older than me. She tells me that as you get older, it's hard to digest dairy. It's hard to digest beef. Beef stays in your gut for about 72 hours. It can be uncomfortable. That's a fact of getting older, and you millennials will get there someday. Another target market that nobody's going after is you give a taste of this to someone who walked in and bought Haagen-Dazs. Just say, hey, just take a taste of this, take home. And they'll be amazed how good it tastes. And then when they buy it in pints and take it home, they're going to say, wow, this stuff isn't wrecking my stomach. I mean, I can eat this all day long. So I think that not only are we going to have the millennial age group, 85 million, we're going to get the 72 million baby boomers also. And so that's what we're going to make now. So I have already pre-mixed the Froconut with water. So this is a coconut-based product. I've added a chocolate that I like, Benjamin P. Forbes chocolate. It's at my website. And they're also about 115 years old, like we are. They're a few years younger. And just a great chocolate company based in Cleveland. So I mixed those two together, and you're going to try it, and you're going to find the texture is not as smooth as dairy, but you're going to find it appealing, and you're going to say, wow, I didn't even know that was dairy-free. So let me get this going. And I want to measure this out, Jeff, because I think I have a little more than I need.
What do you need?
Something I can measure 4 quarts.
Right here, 4 quarts.
Right to the top.
No, not to the top.
Okay. Any questions so far? Yes.
What's the formula for mixing?
It's easy. It's 1 pound of the powder to 1 quart of water. Couldn't be easier. On their directions, it's in grams and kilograms and all those other good things, which I can't understand. I'm going to put it a little short.
Do you hand stir it, or do you have to drill stir it?
You can hand stir it, but that's what I use. But I also have just got the electric drill with the paint mixer on it. I have a $400 Sunbeam blender. His works better. So I have pre-mixed this, and I check the gate is closed. I'm going to pour this in. Now, if I have any lumps or bumps, the machine will blend it up, because I see a couple of lumps. Not a problem. Now, this is along the lines of an Italian ice. It's not dairy in it, but it's sugar and coconut, and so it's going to freeze time-wise longer than ice cream. So I'm going to hit home here, make ice cream. I'm going to go to dairy-free and start. And then, unlike Jeff, he likes to continue talking for a while and tell you about the 3 guys in the bar. I go ahead and hit the refrigeration switch. I want to get back to my Barca Lounger and relax. So
You old people like those Barca Loungers.
yes,
don't
we
you?
do. I've got one with the heating and massage factor, and then there's another button that calls the chiropractor. Yes.
Instead of using the blenders to mix up your bucket of stuff, whatever variety that you're making, you could just use the machine to do your blending?
Hello.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you definitely can, except for the sugar. If I'm making Italian ice, I don't put sugar in the machine. It's going to wear the blades. Instead of 6 years, you might get 4.5 years.
See, and I don't care because I know who makes the blades, and I won't pay for them.
Oh, you'll pay one way or the other.
I
Trust me.
knew that.
Your car's out front. If you want to
what do
leave
I do
without,
with
punctures in it,
What do you want to do with that?
I'll refrigerate it.
Yeah, well, you can freeze it, actually.
Yeah.
No dairy in it or anything.
I'm just going to put it away.
So that broken there,
Yes, it is. And its first ingredient is coconut. Yes.
what speed are you running?
Dairy-free, I think, is slightly lower than the super premium. Because even though there's no dairy in it, water expands 17%. If you have a wood boat and it's up on Lake Michigan and you leave it there for the winter, your boat's going to be crushed. This water expands. So when someone says there's no air in their ice cream, they don't know what they're talking about, because basic physics is 17%, and then you translate that into our term overrun, and that becomes 34% overrun. So the lowest overrun you can really go in life is about 34%, because water expands. Unless you put the whole system under pressure, and there's no reason to do that. You can go overboard on everything. Haagen-Dazs, again, a company Reuben Madison, his mother, we put in business. And they also opened up eventually ice cream parlors. And eventually they all closed, because Haagen-Dazs knows what they're doing. It's sold in pint containers, and you pick at it. On the drive home, ladies, you don't know this, but on the drive home, there are teeth marks in the pint of ice cream. And then we smooth it over, and then we look and say, oh, there's a divot. So what we do is, as soon as we get home, we quickly open it while Paul is unwrapping the rest of the groceries. I dig into it and take a bite so nobody ever knows. And then we have some for dinner, and then we have some at 11 o'clock at night, a couple of spoonfuls. So you're picking at it, you're not getting a lot of product. If you got a portion of Haagen-Dazs the size of Jeff's portions at his store, first off, being dense, it would be like nuclear waste. It would be very, very, very dense. So it would look small and like you didn't get your money's worth. It would also sit like lead in your stomach. It's a great ice cream to pick at. It's not a great ice cream to go on a cone. So those stores went out of business because people ate it, and they said, they didn't say, oh, that's ice cream upset my stomach because it's so incredibly dense. They said, oh, Haagen-Dazs ice cream upsets my stomach, therefore I'm not going to buy Haagen-Dazs. And all their stores went out of business. So did most of the Ben & Jerry's. But they do know what they're doing at Haagen-Dazs. They're selling in pint containers, and in the old days, your ice cream parlor would have had pints, quarts, half gallons, and gallons. I was teaching at Penn State University. I asked the head of Penn State, why does my customer Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry, why are they only sold in pints? He said, because you'll pay $7 for a pint without even blinking, but you won't pay $28 for a half gallon. And he's absolutely right. At $28, I'm going to keep it for myself and my friends can eat Breyers. Or I'm just not going to spend the money. But at $7, I'm going to buy mint chip for me, and I better bring home a coconut for Paula or I'll be sleeping in the garage. So you spend $14 and don't even think about it. The other thing I do in selling pints, because I think it's really important, I have a love-hate relationship with Starbucks at Tampa International Airport. I'm going through there about 5 in the morning, and I just want a black coffee, and they have a lineup of 30 people getting a mocha latte, this and that. I can't even pronounce what's in it, and I don't know what's in it. Why can't you just have a line for coffee? And then I can put my own junk in it. I can put all my milk in it and all my Splenda and really junk it up the way I want. So I thought, same thing with an ice cream parlor. You go into an ice cream parlor, and there's a line of 10 people, and you say, wow, that's great, it must be really good stuff. But it's Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock, and I just I've been told to pick up a dessert for tonight. We're having the Smiths over, and I just want to do my job, get my ice cream and get home. So I come into your store, and there's the server. The server is scooping ice cream, and people are deciding what that, like that, and that's the line. And here's a line over here, no line, just a little sign, and it's got a vertical freezer with glass doors. If you go to Culver's, that's what they do. You open it up and you pick out your mint chip and your coconut, and you put it on the counter, and there's nobody there. But the server over here says to the crowd, excuse me 1 second. Server comes over here, and now it's like Starbucks. Put your credit card in the machine. Okay, do you want a bag? No. You want a receipt? No. I grab my 2 pints and I'm gone. The crowd over here that got interrupted says, whoa, look at that guy. He just came in and out here. His car's running, his golden retriever's in the back seat, and he came in and out in 45 seconds on Friday afternoon at 5:30. I could do that myself on the way home from work. So you don't even need someone here. You just need the ability to just make it so simple that they pick up the product and go. And you'll be amazed at the sales. Dairy-free and pint sales are the 2 biggest trends that are happening in our industry right now. And they're not fads. I don't deal in fads. Questions? Wow, I put them all asleep. You got a joke?
Eyes are glazed over.
You got a joke? How about the 3 guys in the bar? No,
3 guys that can't tell that one.
Yeah. We'd have to tell them to shut off the phone.
You want to talk about Butterfat?
I want to talk about Butterfat. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little Butterfat around the waist. Is that what you mean?
Well,
No.
for an old guy.
Butterfat content. What were we? How were we? Was that question asked? Yeah. What did you say?
I had said that I read a lot that says, real gourmet ice cream is in that 14 to 16% butterfat.
Right.
But, Jeff was making stuff the other day with 10%, and it was fantastic. So I was asking, what's your opinion on butterfat levels?
Well, I'm from New York, so I have an opinion on everything. Whether you want it or not. But we came down here, and New York, all in New England, is just loaded with ice cream parlors. I've got more machines there, except maybe more in California. And you come down here, and there aren't that many ice cream parlors. There's Jeff's up in Fruit Loops. There's a great guy down in Lauderdale. There's one in Tampa. There just aren't that many ice cream parlors. And the reason is because of us New Yorkers and New Englanders. We come down with our high-fat concept of ice cream. If you have a store in New York and you're selling 14% butterfat, I'm going to sell 16, just so I can say I'm the richest ice cream in New York. No other reason. 16 isn't that much better. I just want the bragging rights. So you come down with that attitude, and all of a sudden you find out it's 95 degrees during the day, 100% humidity, and you eat that high-fat ice cream or you eat that Ruth Chris steak, and all of a sudden you're dropping dead in the parking lot. That's lousy for business, having dead people in the parking lot. So that's what all my customers were doing. So I said, let's lower the fat content. The federal minimum to call it ice cream is 10%. So I said, let's try 10% and boost the flavor. because nobody eats fat content, like I said at the beginning of today, and nobody eats air content. They eat flavor. So we took 10% mix and added a lot more flavor, and wow, we had a great, refreshing eating ice cream. So when people ask me what butterfat should I run, and they say they're from Wisconsin, I say 12 or 14. It's colder up there. It's what they're used to. If it's Southern California, they can't make up their mind. They have to sit there and share the experience with some other people. But it depends on where you are. So in Texas and Florida, Louisiana, I'm going to run the low fat. As I get north of the Mason-Dixon line, I'm going to run the higher fat. So there is no set answer. You walk around and you look at what other people are doing.
Is there a difference in the taste?
There can be, but not with ours. Okay, this is ready. Spatula. Here, I got it.
No, here, use this.
All right, you ready?
You're used to it.
Here we go. Now I'm going to speed this up just to help get the rest of it out. And again, this has. I always tell people, if you say, "Wow, that pink ice cream is delicious. What is it?" and you don't know that it's red raspberry instead of strawberry, I just failed as an ice cream maker because I didn't put enough flavor in. Come up and try this and see what you think.
It's dairy-free chocolate.
It might be too.